This report just opened a very interesting door for the Vancouver Canucks as a veteran free agent with over 1,300 games has recently named the Vancouver Canucks in an interview when speaking on teams going into next season. But not only that, we're going to break down more players the Vancouver Canucks can pursue on PTOs and how all this adds up to a very competitive training camp with key rookies waiting to break through on the Canucks lineup. We're going to break down all this, the report, quotes, and so much more later on this episode. Before we get into that, if you're enjoying this daily Canucks content, you want to stay up to date on everything to do around the team, make sure to go down and hit that free subscribe button. We'll give you updates from everything to do around the Canucks. But with that, let's just hop straight into this today, where we do know the Vancouver Canucks did a very good job with their PTOs last year, signing Sammy Blais to his PTO as he helped lead the Abbotsford Canucks to their first Calder Cup win. Now with this, we know Sammy Blais did leave the organization, but it does lead into the Canucks having the opportunity. And listen, we've seen the reports yesterday that Jack Rutherford is no longer on the Canucks radar going into next season, or at least they're straying away from it in the bargain bin. Now with this, they can go out, sign a PTO. We've seen how dominant Blais was in the AHL, and it gives a good opportunity for the Canucks to go out, get a forward that can help the team if injuries do occur again. Now looking at this list, there's a lot of guys. Listen, Matt Grzelcyk would be awesome, but the Canucks aren't needing of a defenseman that's going to cost a pretty penny. So Luke Kunin is the first name that makes things interesting. Now looking at Luke, listen, he's not going to go out and put up the most points for you. We've seen last season splitting time between the San Jose Sharks and the Columbus Blue Jackets, putting up 18 total points in the 75 games. The big thing with Luke is he's going to come in and play a dominant role on the penalty kill and still offer a lot of size when throwing hits. Now with Luke, a center that can help fill out a even more depth position with the Canucks. We've seen last season not having the strongest faceoff performance, 45, 46, and 47 in 3 consecutive years. But when looking at the hit totals, 165, 187, and 163. Now with him joining this team, it would give the Canucks more room to rotate people in throughout the lineup, and if an injury does happen, which we do not want to happen after what we dealt with last season, we know the Canucks can add more depth with this. Now the biggest thing is if you're bringing him in, he's not going to be any more than a AHL guy or even a 5th center, unless we see them move on from someone, but I cannot see them trading Teddy Bluger to make room for him as well. Now looking at the bottom of the lineup, there's a lot of guys that are waiting to break thin. We've seen Kravtsov signed by the Canucks once again after not working out the first time, waiting to have another bounce back here. A little preview on a video tomorrow. And Jonathan Lekkerimaki, who everyone knows is a fan favorite in my books, is another player that wants to break in. Now listen, Lekkerimaki is a bit of a different position, more of a goal scorer, not known for his defense, but still adding depth at every position is exactly what the Canucks need to do, especially if this is either a PTO or a vet minimum contract, where if you do end up losing him on waivers, it's not the end of the world. Now listen, there is guys like Max Sasson that we want to see come up. Linus Karlsson is set to play with this team as well. But with the Canucks, there's a lot of things they can add this offseason to help bolster the team. Yes, the center depth is the big thing, but it goes into a recent report and a recent interview where Marc Ddouard Vlasic, Pickle, was speaking on leaving the San Jose Sharks. It's exciting and motivating to train, find a new team, and put it in the Sharks' teeth. Now listen, Luke Kunin was a guy in the Sharks, and Vlasic was a previous Sharks player as well. I'm not throwing any shade at the Sharks until Celebrini does come over, and then Sharks fans are going to hate Vancouver. The biggest thing is it continues in where he speaks on even more. I have much more to offer, and the others know it too. My age is on the file and where I'm going to play. I don't mind. Vancouver, Buffalo, Florida, Tampa. I'm going to go somewhere someone wants me. Now, having this list of teams, a lot of people might look at this and say, hey, he threw out a handful of teams. But it does seem like he's speaking on a lot of organizations that are maybe making calls to add PTOs. We're seeing PTOs already sign him, and we've seen the St. Louis Blues bring in Lucic, which was a bit of a head scratch. And listen, Canucks fans, we're not going to talk about any Boston Bruins, but Vlasic is someone that adds a interesting piece to the back end. Now listen, with the Canucks, we know their strong suit, the defensive game. They have a lot of defensemen. Quinn Hughes, Filip Hronek, Marcus Pettersson, Tyler Myers, and Derek Forbort are solidified on this team going into opening night. We know DPD, his emergence, how well he played, is another name that's showing that he's going to end up making this Canucks team if that's opening night or a few games in. But it does get interesting when going farther down and guys that want to break through. Now with the Canucks, Derek Forbort is the perfect example where age can kind of help your game. We've seen how good defensively he was last year, but with the Canucks being dismantled with injuries, it's never bad to have even more depth because you're 2 to 3 injuries on defensive way from having 3 or more rookies within the lineup. Now looking at this, bringing in Vlasic would add another piece, a left-handed defenseman known for a shutdown game. Yes, Father Time is catching up. 38 years old, you would sign him to a vet minimum contract or a PTO, getting him in with the organization. The Canucks are not afraid to sign PTOs or bring someone in to train with them. We've seen the Phil Kessel saga just from a few seasons ago where they did not end up signing him, but still a piece. And listen, the lore behind Phil would have been awesome watching him hoist a cup with the Canucks or Abbotsford. But the big thing is adding in Vlasic. Listen, not the flashiest name, not someone that's going to go out and win you the Stanley Cup single-handedly, but with the Canucks having a very young defensive core building through the system, he does add a lot of value and someone that you can plug and play within this lineup and wouldn't look out of place. Now listen, he's not the fastest guy, but someone that can work with Tom Willander, Victor Mancini, or even Joseph. It's going to get interesting how this internal battle, how this report just opens a new door for the Canucks to add in more veteran leadership. They still have veterans on the team. Tyler Myers, Derek Forbort, Marcus Pettersson are all guys that are in or going into their 30s. And the big thing is adding this veteran presence would be awesome for the team. Now continuing into Pickle, Marc Ddouard Vlasic. The big thing is breaking into the league in 2006-07, quite some time ago. Not the most offensive sided guy, not the biggest frame, but someone that has been around, someone with over 1,300 games that adds value to this team. Going further, and he can still eat pucks for the team as well. We've seen last year with the Sharks having an injury-riddled season, putting up 3 points, scoring a goal, and going out to block 40 shots. The 2-year previous, 108 and 116 block shots, and you can work your way through just everything you want out of a veteran guy to bring leadership, someone that has went deep in the playoffs, not winning with the Sharks, but still being productive. But it kind of leads into, yes, there is the interesting sense where he did speak on it. He wants to shove it down the Sharks' teeth. He wants to go out and play with the team, naming Vancouver. But the biggest thing and the grand picture of this, yes, you can bring him in. There's a low risk, high reward with him, but it does block the way for younger guys to get within the team. Now you can look at the sense of, hey, Tom Willander would do better playing with the Abbotsford Canucks for the entirety of the season, but also getting him in for a few games throughout the season would be quite fun to watch. And listen, their top prospect, 1A, 1B, just behind Jonathan Lekkerimaki, just ahead. This guy is going to be great for the organization for the years to come. So maybe give him the year of development playing on North American ice, which he did do twice with Boston University, but playing in a professional league against grown men is going to be a learning curve. But Canucks fans, is this the situation? Would you go out to sign Vlasic? Is there another guy within this list that you would like to see the Canucks go out to sign a PTO? Ryan Suter, Fabry. One of these guys would fit great on the team, but overall the Canucks, the PTOs, we've seen with the PTO signing of Sammy Blais last year, sorry, a bit of a brain fart there, happened on August 22nd, which is just 2 days or 1 day away, depending when you're watching this. So everything is pointing in the Canucks are probably leading in to look at a couple offers. There's a lot in the books, but what is your thoughts on this report? Do you think it opened an interesting door where the Canucks can come in and sign a veteran guy to help bring leadership to the team? Would you rather them go take a flyer on someone younger like we've seen with Sammy Blais? Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark. Bye, and take care, Canucks fans.